Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about two different things. Basically, I'm going to be talking about tattoos and alcohol, and I just think these are two big topics that a lot of Christians debate upon and are not sure whether it's a sin or not and whether it's bad. And I just feel like it's something that should be talked about, and probably help you guys know, just have you guys have better knowledge of it. So first is tattoos. So, because a lot of people probably wonder, is getting tattoos a sin? So so first I'm gonna say that my opinion is that I personally do not think it's a sin, and here's my explanation of it. So basically, it doesn't. First of all, it doesn't say anything about it in the New Testament. It's basically an Old Testament law. It's mentioned in Leviticus, where it says, you shall not mark your body, including tattoos, but it's in the Old Testament, way before Jesus' time. And, it's not mentioned at all in the New Testament. Jesus doesn't mention anything about it. And, so it doesn't really apply to us today because times have changed, and you don't really look at much the Old Testament anymore. You look, really by God's word, and it's not, so it was during that time when they considered it bad. And so that's one thing about it. It doesn't say anything about it in the New Testament that it's not, that it's not okay. And I'm gonna say, but there are Christians, however, who are strongly against them, and that's okay. You can be strongly against it, or you can be for it, But just because you're someone who's strongly against having a tattoo doesn't mean you should judge someone who does have one. And, because that's not what Christians should do. You should just accept it, and everybody's different. I personally know a lot of people who are Christians who have them, and some of them have a lot. Even a lot of Christian artists have them, and they're not bad ones. They're, and I personally don't find a problem with it. And, but there are people who are strongly against it, and I personally do not. I believe it's not a sin, and I have one myself, and mine is a religious one. It's a cross that has Jesus Saves under it, and I think it just really depends on what kind of tattoo you have. Now, if it comes to the case where you have a tattoo that's like evil and like blaspheming to God and something evil, or something like cultism, or something that's demonic or something bad, then that is when it's bad. And that's, but it depends on what you have. If you have something that's symbolic, or something that's, different, that's not anything like that, then it's okay. Like mine is a religious one, so for me, mine's okay. And, so basically, as long as it's something that's not evil or bad or demeaning to God or not honoring God, then I personally believe that they're okay to have. So you just have to pay attention to that. You just have to be careful on if you do decide to mark your body with a tattoo, you have to remember it's permanent. So you have to really be sure it's something that you want, and make sure it's something that's not demeaning to God, especially if you're a Christian. So you just have to be aware of that before you make a decision to do it. So next thing I'm going to talk about is alcohol, and I think I want to spend more time with this one because this one is a lot more controversial than tattoos are, and a lot more people are really different opinionated on this issue and have different thoughts about it, and it is brought up a lot when it comes to living a Christian lifestyle. So basically, a lot of people don't know if drinking alcohol is a sin or not, and a lot of people debate that. So it's not mentioned in the Ten Commandments saying that you shall not drink. Jesus. Let's say, here's a good example. Jesus drank wine. He turned water into wine. So he drank wine. So obviously, we can see there that Jesus is not someone who was fully against drinking at all. But there's a difference between it. There's a difference between consuming it and just getting drunk. And, and abusing it is not good either. So I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it's a sin to drink alcohol. And as long as it's in moderation. Like you can't make it your whole entire life. If you're someone who has a history of addictions, or have a family history of drinking, or have struggle with self-control, then drinking is probably not the thing that you should be doing. It depends on the person, because everybody's different. If you're someone who knows it's going to become an issue for you and you don't have good self-control, then drinking is something you should just completely stay away from and just avoid it as best you can. Especially if you're under 21, just don't do it at all. It's as simple as that. It does mention in the Bible about getting drunk and drunkenness. Even in 1 Peter 5:8 it says, be sober-minded. So which tells you you should not be drinking and getting drunk. So there is a difference. Like me, I have a drink on occasion. Like for a special occasion. Like I had a drink on Christmas. I had one on Thanksgiving. I had one on New Year's. I had one on my birthday because it's a special occasion. But I don't make it my entire life. It's not a problem for me. It's not an addiction for me, and I don't get drunk off of it, and I've never done that. So that's when it's okay. If it's like that, then that's when it's okay. And Jesus understands that. He's not going to condemn you for having a drink because he was not against drinking wine. As long as you don't make it a habit and be like, be drunk all the time and abusing it, because then that's when it gets bad. Because a lot of times when you abuse it, it becomes an addiction. It can destroy your life, and it can kill you, and it can destroy a marriage or family and stuff like that. Especially if you do drink and driving, that's just something you should not do either. So that's when it becomes bad. So you just have to remember that. And I can tell you, there's also going to be some people who are completely against it, won't touch a drink at all, and that's fine. You can be a Christian and have a drink once in a while, and you can also be a Christian who completely stays away from drinking, and that's totally fine. Either way works for you. Whatever you feel is best for you, and whatever you want to do in your life. But you should never judge somebody, even if they are a Christian who does have a drink once in a while. You should not judge them and condemn them and be like, oh, you're gonna go to hell or something like that, because that's not what you should be doing. And as long as you know that they're not someone who's making it a habit and making it an addiction, then it's really okay. And that's when it's not sin and when it's not bad. So you just have to keep that in mind, and like I said, there will be people who are completely against it, and it's just your life, it's your decision. But you just have to remember, if you're someone who's a Christian, it's something you should not be doing. And don't make it your life. Don't let it become an addiction. Don't let it get to the point where it's gotten so bad that it's just taken over your life, because that's not good. And especially that's going to draw you away from God too, and away from Jesus. The best thing really is to pursue Jesus in everything you do, and God, and he will really help you have that self-control, and you won't have that addiction problem. And really pursuing Jesus is the best thing you can do. And really try to avoid alcohol as much as you can, because it's really not it's not going to change, it's not going to help you, it's not going to make you cool, because drinking is not cool, but people do it to fit in, but it doesn't help anything, and you shouldn't have to do it to impress people. So thanks for watching today, guys. I hope that this video helps you guys in a way, and you'll think about some of the stuff I said. So just remember to be smart and don't make bad decisions when it comes to these kind of situations. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.